Hello, everyone. Welcome to TSAM Digital. My name is Anna, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with BJ Marcoullier. He is the head of sales at Transcend. Welcome, BJ.
Hi, Anna. Glad to be here.
Hi, BJ. Thank you for being here. So before we get started today, would you like to say a couple of words about yourself and about Transcend?
Yeah, thanks. So my name is BJ Marcoullier, as you've said. I'm head of sales at Transcend. Transcend is a software company. We've been around for about 10 years now, so we're looking forward to crossing that milestone. And really what we do is we help our clients in the capital market space really think about making better decisions and executions across capital funding and liquidity. So we have a platform that can connect data across disparate systems, presenting really a tool and capabilities for our clients to really drive better returns on their financial resources, as well as being really smart about their efficiencies and how they're, really processing their flows across the capital funding and liquidity dimensions of their businesses.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that intro, BJ. And you actually mentioned liquidity. So I was interested to ask you, why is intraday liquidity management becoming a greater focus for asset management?
Well, thanks for asking. So if you really think about it, there's a few sort of imminent drivers now to why sort of its liquidity on an intraday and then on a sort of a forward basis is sort of becoming more important to our clients. And some of those drivers are obviously, as we all know, rates are going up, right? So the cost of cash, the cost of funding, the cost of liquidity itself is just getting higher and higher. So which consequently you need to be smarter about how you are utilizing funding and liquidity within your operations. Another driver is obviously, with the advent of T+1 on the horizon, we're seeing our clients really think about their operational infrastructure and how they're able to support and meet a lot of the new sort of pending regulatory requirements that, both can impact them from a financial performance perspective, but also from a risk management perspective. And finally, there's just, there's a lot more complexity in the market, right? There's UMR has obviously changed the way a lot of firms process collateral and funding and think about, how they're engaging with their counterparties. So consequently, it's really the intersection of all of those, and different clients have obviously different priorities, but fortunately, our platform is able to help across a variety of dimensions.
So that's really, really interesting, BJ. Thank you so much for mentioning. I was really interested to find out more about why and actually what our clients doing to address some of the challenges that you mentioned.
So it's interesting because, obviously one size always doesn't fit all, but really there's some themes we're seeing out there around sort of the collateral liquidity and funding space and how our clients are really addressing some of these challenges. And depending on sort of the business footprint, and one of the approaches that we're seeing is for certain clients, they're thinking more and more around how they centralize decision making and execution across their business, right? And the reason why that's important is historically data has been very disparate. It's been in different formats. It's been sort of spread out across an organization, and you could have different regional impact aspects. You could have different technology aspects. You could have different aspects such as sort of front office data and back office data. And so firms are realizing that all of that data is sort of important, and you can make, when it's cohesive and it's brought together and it's harmonized, you can actually be a lot smarter and efficient in terms of the decision making you're making. So we're seeing a lot of attention around centralizing the funding and decision making as it relates to sort of cash and inventory sort of flows going through an organization. And one of the ways that we help with that is we have a lot of experience in sort of connecting data and building a framework to help with that decision making. So, for example, we can connect to Swift gateways. We can connect to inventory systems. We can connect to custodians and tri-party agents. We can connect to stock records and trading systems so that we can bring together and harmonize all of that data so that these groups now can sort of have one place to go to look at their total, we'll call it landscape of activity, and then apply sort of tools to make better decisions around that. So really the centralization movement is around sort of the understanding that firms need to elevate their capabilities, right? Sort of the legacy sort of infrastructures and technologies really aren't as capable to help these businesses sort of achieve sort of their next level of financial and sort of efficiency opportunities.
So what is your sense of the opportunity size for your clients by implementing these strategies, and how does Transcend actually help?
Yeah, great. So it's an interesting question because I think from an opportunity perspective, there's tangible, obviously, opportunities, and then there's sort of those intangibles. And from a tangible perspective, we've been hearing from clients and prospective clients that the sort of the financial benefit can range anywhere from 10 to 80 basis points, depending on their particular situation. So, when you're talking, in most cases, we have clients and firms that are carrying billions of dollars of deposits and processing billions of dollars of intraday settlements and collateral allocations and meeting margin requirements, et cetera. So, 10 to 80 basis points obviously is a very material return to think about, both for your shareholders as well as, obviously just, funding or thinking about your overall investments into your platform. Additionally, there's sort of a risk management element, right? So really thinking about the regulators are continuing to up their standards and their expectations that firms are responsible for and have good visibility into the flows and the risks that can potentially impact their business. So a specific example of what I mean by that is UMR has imposed a requirement that, sell-side firms now will responsible for actually delivering collateral to a lot of the buy-side firms, which is a relatively new sort of concept. Well, it's important, and there's an obligation there to understand and validate that collateral that the buy-side firms are receiving actually complies with all of the terms embedded in their legal agreements that they've negotiated. And it may sound like a simple process, but actually that can be a quite difficult thing to do in real time when you consider a lot of agreements have complexities around concentration issues or around sort of different market dynamics, or there could be issue specific restrictions. So monitoring that you're mitigating your risk of your derivatives positions or your cleared positions in real time is really important. And sort of that's an example of having that visibility and that assurance and that sort of due diligence that you're complying and you have a proper compliance framework to make sure that the collateral you're receiving is always meeting the terms of your agreement is one example where, risk, although it may not seem like it's a direct sort of benefit, as you say, but there's a lot of sort of intangible benefits to a proper liquidity and funding platform that can not only increase your financial returns, but also really reduce your risks and also give you more confidence that you're going to meet any future needs.
Yeah, so that's really fascinating because also fast change seems to be the only constant these days, right? And I was wondering, what are your clients working on to ensure they continue delivering better risk-adjusted returns for their investors?
Yeah, thanks for that. So a few things they're working on is, again, like I want to stress sort of that the first step is building the right framework, right? And what I mean by right framework is building a framework that can bring together and span a lot of disparate data sets. For example, there's really two dimensions to collateral funding and liquidity, and one dimension is a security dimension and one dimension is a cash dimension. So getting visibility first and foremost into what are your security positions, where are they located, what's the status of those security positions, are they failing, are they in position, what's being held in real time at your custody accounts, what are your planned future sales. And then also then on the cash side, there's like, do you have are you carrying buffers of liquidity across your counterparties? Do you have deposits in certain places that maybe are excess or not meeting the requirements? Do you have intraday cash flows that you need to plan for? Or do you have cash flows that might be pending in a day or two? How do you prepare to meet those various cash flows and requirements on your business? It's important to have visibility into the intraday aspects of your cash and securities flows. But also it's important to be able to project and look out into the future and say, well, how do I prepare for maybe it's, I have a pending activity tomorrow, which is going to require 200 million of cash to get delivered to a counterparty. How do I make sure I have that liquidity on hand? And how do I make sure I'm carrying that liquidity in an efficient way so that I don't either incur extra costs or I don't have other risks or settlement issues that might negatively impact my business. So really what we're seeing is most places are taking that first step to improve their analytics, improve their visibility, improve their platforms so that their cash liquidity and funding really is organized in such a fashion that they can then make better decisions around.
So what are the challenges to delivering on these strategies?
So I think, there's a few things that clients should think about when they're trying to achieve better performance around their collateral and funding liquidity. And, the industry in the markets is moving very fast these days. So it's really important to make sure that whatever solutions they're looking to implement, that those solutions are scalable and flexible. And what do I mean by that is have technology that can quickly adapt to changing market conditions, changing regulations, changing business requirements, that have the models and the interfaces that can really adapt quickly and in real time to help clients move through into the future and continuing to deliver enhanced performances. And some of the actual functions around that are things like getting automated decision making, right? Getting tools that can help make complex decisions across a very broad scope or across things like what collateral should be delivered to meet a wide swath of margin obligations. So that automated decision making, and there's a lot of tools now and software tools that can really help users and help our clients think about where are they adding the most value versus what should the systems be doing, right? And systems now can be helping make a lot of complex decisions, which can actually give a lot of scale to a lot of our clients. And then the other step to that decision making is execution. Obviously, a decision is only as good as your ability to put it to work. So clients should also be thinking about what that operating capabilities they're looking to have, right? Do they want to continue to outsource or insource execution and movements? So I think there's a right balance there where, technology, and we call it booking service, can help our clients really automate a lot of the securities and cash movements that may previously have taken a lot of manual intervention to happen. So this really provides a lot of scale to achieve a higher order of performance for our clients.
And thank you so much, BJ, for that. It was really insightful. In closing, I wanted to ask if you have any kind of final thoughts that you wanted to share with our audience as well.
Thanks, Anna. So just a little bit on maybe back to Transcend. And we really do think the industry is evolving quickly, and it's important to think about not only the technology and some of the obviously out of the box capabilities are important, but it's really important now to think about who you're partnering with for delivering on your sort of your technology strategy. We really here at Transcend we try to hold ourselves out, and we view every client of ours as a partnership opportunity. So I just would encourage clients to think about not only that bring in people that have the expertise in the particular space that you're looking to obviously solve for, but also I think this industry is moving very fast right now. So having a partnership, whether it's Transcend or someone else, that it's really important to have a technology firm that's there for you for the long haul, because as we know, change is probably the only constant that we're facing these days, and having a long-term partner is obviously going to be important.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, BJ.
Okay. Thanks, Hannah.